Hi, future CISSPs. Welcome back on the CISSP Success Toolkit. And we are on to the twister of the day, number 93. So let's see what we have for today. Uh, this is the question. Go through the question, take complete 1 minute to answer this, and make the answer ready with you. And I will explain you the explanation. Let's go through the question now. During a security assessment of a web application, you discover a vulnerability that allows an attacker to manipulate the appearance of the website by injecting malicious code. This code is executed on the client browser, leading to unauthorized data disclosure. What type of presentation layer attack is most likely occurring? So this particular question has been taken up from your CISSP domain 4. And in that, when we go through the different OSI layers, we must understand the different type of attack which happens on, uh, you know, different layers. I will take a minute to explain you what is SQL injection. All right. So let's go to the option number A and try to understand first what is SQL injection. So SQL injection is an attack where the attacker uses the vulnerability in the web application because of a lack of input validation and those kind of stuff, and then through that the attacker is able to manipulate data in the database. So the target here is the database layer rather than the web layer. So that is what is happening in a SQL injection attack. By using SQL injection, an attacker can place a malicious script, maybe on a particular website, let's say a search bar, or maybe a let's say maybe a login form as well. And on this, the attacker is able to execute a particular script, bypass the authentication, and commit some data in the database, which is kind of malicious, and the ultimate what happens is the entire database get polluted. So that is your SQL injection attack. We'll go to option number B, which says cross site scripting attack, XSS. In this particular attack, the attacker do not target the database either. In this particular case, the attacker targets the website by itself. So he is able to put in some kind of malicious code on a particular website which is kind of being referred by multiple people as well. And because the website has some vulnerabilities, so that the attacker is able to inject some code in that, when other people actually open that particular website in their respective browsers, they also get impacted by that particular malicious code. And in this particular question, it says this code is executed on the client browser and leading to unauthorized data disclosure. So definitely, this is the right option here for this particular question. So the answer is cross-site scripting. We will also go to the third option, which is C, cross-site request forgery. So cross-site request forgery is a type of attack wherein a particular web application has some inherent trust on the queries which is coming from a particular browser. When that particular inherent trust is exploited by the attacker, then this is called as cross-site forgery attack. What happens in cross-site forgery attack? Let's say you are opening your bank account online through net banking, and you have an active session with the bank. What attacker will do is he will either make a malicious website, or he will also or he may also inject some kind of malicious code on the legitimate website itself. And when that code get executed, that particular code may pick up your session cookies and all those kind of stuff, and actually is able to execute a transaction in behalf of you and without your consent. So that kind of attack is what is called as a cross-site request forgery attack. It goes unnoticed by the user, but because they have the active session, the same session is kind of utilized by the attacker. That's one way of doing it. Then the last option here is the option number D, which is DNS spoofing. In a DNS spoofing, what happens is the attacker is able to spoof a particular entry into the DNS cache, and this can be leading a particular user who want to access certain website, and he gets redirected to a malicious website because the entry has changed in the cache. And for that we use multiple solutions for that. For example, you must implement DNS sec as one of the security measure, or you can also make sure that the DNS server flushes its cache memory more often, right? That is another control we can implement. What is the control we can put in for cross-site scripting? So in the case of cross-site scripting, there are certain measures which you can implement. For example, your website can integrate a CSRF token. So that token is kind of evaluated every time the request is coming from the right source. So understanding the source also is very very important when it comes to cross-site request forgery. What kind of controls we can put in cross-site scripting? So to make sure cross-site scripting is defeated, we need to make sure there is strong input validation first and foremost, so that a particular attacker is not able to inject a malicious code on a particular website. And then also making sure that all the monitoring controls and those kind of things are in place. SQL injection, we can put in some controls, like for example, let's say we are having parameterized queries. So parameterized queries in is like, for example, you go to certain websites and you see you can only select certain options from the drop down. So those are kind of hard coded SQL queries which is going to the database and not giving the attacker a chance to execute their own malicious scripts in there. So these whatever controls I have said, they are not holistic, they are just I am touching upon those aspects. If you want to get more insights into this, we have detailed videos on each and every vulnerability in our CISSP success toolkit. Feel free, if you are a CISSP aspirant and you aim to pass CISSP exam, I think there is nothing better solution than you other than CISSP success toolkit. And please subscribe, share this particular channel with others as well, so that I'm able to help so many other peoples as well who are aspiring for either CISSP or CSUM or CRISC and all of that. Thank you very much, and I see you in the next video.